our next question is, how do we help our product owner understand the sprint goal of just completing the forecasted number of product backlog items is not a proper sprint goal?
Yeah, so the sprint goal would be like complete item ABC.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be sprint goal.
Yeah.
So having a sprint goal serves a purpose. We want to create focus with the team. So that's why we define a sprint goal. It is a description of the value that you are adding to your product, or it's a description of the value that you're bringing to your customers, make them more happy, make the application faster, smoother, or whatever. And so it's kind of a guidance of where are we going. The other thing that a sprint goal tries to help you with is the feeling of accomplishment. So when you reach that goal, you can say, hey, we did great. We made the app more smoother for our customers. That hooks in to having a purpose. So we're not just finishing item ABC. No, we are contributing to that larger purpose, which is a sprint goal, and on top of that, a product goal. And I think that's the feeling of accomplishment and focus, creating transparency about what we are actually doing. I think those are the reasons that you want to have a good crafted sprint goal. A lot of teams struggle with creating team sprint goals because they have different causes, of course. But one of the causes is that they all work on different stuff. So it's difficult to create a sprint goal. It's difficult to create focus, and that's usually one of the most shared reasons to not have a sprint goal. That they're working on so many diverse things. The only logical that they can come up with is, finish item ABC, and that's our goal for the sprint.
I think there was a good hook in the first part that you said. It's about displaying the value that we're working towards, right? Creating the focus on the value. But quite often, people are not aligned on what value means. So if I ask you, what's your definition of value? Or if I ask Roald, our producer for now, what do you define as being value? I would get two different answers, and that's no different in Scrum teams. So figure out what's the value that we're trying to deliver here. What's the outcome? Delivering item 1, 2, and 3, or A, B, and C, it doesn't say anything about value. It just says something about quantity, not about the effect that we want to sort. I once worked with a team that created dashboards, right? And the feedback that they got was that the dashboards were loading too slowly. Then you can say, our sprint goal is going to be to make it faster. All right, what do we define as faster? I could technically make it faster, go faster by 0.01%, and that's faster. But is that really value to our stakeholders? Probably not, because they're not going to notice that, like that very tiny little bit of speed increase. So make it crisp, make it tangible, but also make it a little bit challenging, so that you're not done like this, but you really create something that's valuable for your customer. Yeah.
So do you have any tips for teams that have difficulties formulating a sprint goal?
I would say talk to your users and your stakeholders as much as makes sense and is actually achievable to define what do you really need at this moment in time. Because I think that's where things start to divert really fast as well. We disconnect too often from our stakeholders, and therefore we're trying to interpret it ourselves. What would we think is valuable to Evelien? No, just go talk to your stakeholders. All right, we've done this now. What do we do next? So you could use the sprint review for this as well, and ultimately it's for your product owner to do this if there's going to be one single accountability for this. But really think about, or have a discussion with your stakeholders. What is next? What do you think would be the most useful thing for you in the coming sprint? What do we think we can really pull off and make it a collaborative discussion? Yeah. Instead of just trying to shoot in the dark.
Yeah, and I really like that outside-in approach. So asking the stakeholders what they want to achieve. I also think from as from the Scrum team, it's also good to be able to answer the question, why are we doing this? So the why is very important. If you have an answer to why are we doing this, that could be your next sprint goal.
Yeah, this comes back to, I think it's the 10th or the 11th principle of the Agile Manifesto. Simplicity, maximizing the amount of work not done. Understanding what the purpose is of the product and then the challenges that they're trying to overcome with this also gives you a lot of input on things not to do. I think it was Patrick Lencioni who said 80-20 your backlog, so try to derive 80% of the value with 20% of your backlog. Usually there's so much fluff in there, in those backlogs, creating marshmallow backlogs, that it doesn't really contribute to the goals that our stakeholders are trying to achieve. So be courageous, be bold, and go through your backlog. Kill your darlings. No, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do this, and we're not going to do this. And why? Because it does not contribute on the goals that we're trying to achieve.
Yeah. So we talked about purpose a lot. Having a sprint goal, describing the purpose, describing the value that you are delivering, and I think that could answer the question.
I hope it does.